Well, good morning. I'm sitting here on the couch waiting for my delivery driver to show up, and that's him. I wanted to show you, I got some new yarn. I'm so excited. My mom actually gave it to me. She has a closet full of yarn that she hasn't used yet. So it's just funny because how we work the system is if I go there and pick out what I want or need, more specifically just want, then she gets empty space so that she can go and get more yarn that she likes. Now, she's kind of a yarn hustler because she belongs to a senior citizen group where they bring in their yarns that they don't want anymore, or projects that they're gee, smoky, or projects that they are not going to complete. And then we have a friend who has like gobs and gobs of yarn. So, I mean, when you're a crocheter or knitter, I find that it's pretty interesting how we just accumulate so much. And yet, I'll still go to like Walmart or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and I'll look at their yarn and I'll be like, I don't have that color, you know. And so here I am looking at those things. Also, the dollar store has yarn. I tell you, it's an obsession. So anyways, I did want to say that I was at Walmart yesterday and I ended up getting a couple of tasty little treats. Now, you guys know that I don't do a lot of processed anything, so I am so sorry if you can hear Smokey. He's just going wild this morning. But I do on occasion like a little bit of a sugary snack, which is more like a candy versus like a thing of cookies. Now, I have been known to eat a bunch of Oreos. I do like Oreos. I like Oreos and milk. But since I don't really buy milk, because, you know, with just having Charlie, I don't need milk, which reminds me that I don't have milk for Charlie, and he's coming later today. So I'll have to have his mom provide some milk or something. Because it's getting hot outside, I don't really want to go to Fry's with a toddler. And it's not so much Charlie as it is the heat and that car seat. Oh. Like, you can sweat to death trying to get him into the car seat. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Anyways, so sometimes after Charlie's taken his nap, he and I will split a little candy treat. And I'm talking about like the little miniature candies, not hard candy for him yet, but like a Kit Kat or a Hershey bar, and I'll give him a little half of it. So he knows now which bowl has the candy treats, which are by the sink. And so the other day it was funny because Donnie was here and he went rummaging through there, and Charlie was outside and he ran his way into the kitchen and was very upset that Grandpa Don Don did not know to give him some candy. And so I had to confess to him what I do sometimes, which is so funny, but you know, whatever. So anyways, I wanted to show you what I did get. I do like to get these little Hershey things because I do like variety. And I get this bag because it also has the dark chocolate. And Donnie is the only one who eats dark chocolate, except for Ben. Ben will eat dark chocolate too. But again, we're not big candy people. And so just once in a while, it's kind of nice to have them on hand just to grab one. And again, we don't eat them very often. But then I have an addiction to caramels. Like, I just love caramels. There's something about that caramely taste that I just love. And my favorite candy is actually a green apple caramel lollipop. And I found them finally at Walmart. Although I don't know, they were out of them or whatever. But the dollar store carries them sometimes too. And that's how I was first introduced to it. So my friend Dina came one night to the jam and she's like, oh, you have to try this candy. I thought of you because I like caramel. And so I had one and I was hooked. So anytime she's at the dollar store and she sees them, she'll grab me a bag. And then one day I just did a research and I found them at Walmart, and I did that. But I try not to, because like that's too much. Like I can eat two, and then that's not good. Here I am like, don't eat this processed food, and then I'm eating like 2 candies. Yeah, no. So anyways, I do like Werther's. It does take me back to my time living with Grandma in Bisbee, and it's just nice. It's like one little candy treat and I'm good. Like, and I might do this like once a week, one of these maybe. So there's that. But I also went ahead and splurged a little bit and got some Andes, because I'm from Peru, and people from Peru have to support Andes. Not really, but still. I've always liked these. Again, it's like one of these every once in a while is great. Like, I really think that this stash of candy is going to last us easily months and months. Unless my older son sees the candy, then he'll probably help himself. But nonetheless, yeah. So I just decided, I had a little bit of time. I try not to go through the candy aisle or the chip aisle, but I was just after like just a little bit of sweetness. And I don't know why that happens, because I know that our bodies sometimes want things and will crave it. Like, I guess the biggest one I've heard before is salt. Sometimes I just want chips, and I don't care. I'm not after Doritos or Cheetos or anything like with extra flavory stuff on it. What I'm looking for is the salt. Like, I just want plain baked chips. Or if the tortilla chips are really good, then I'll take that too. But the problem is that all the food is so chemically altered that you don't really get a good, I don't know. So what happens though is that I'll eat like maybe 4 or 5, and then I'm done. I'm just done. But one of our local Mexican restaurants here, I want to say it's Los Posanitos. I believe there's one on the west side of town, but there's one here across the street from Fry's. And a lot of times we'll go there for our taco salads. Donnie's always getting carne asada burritos. But we stumbled upon their super nachos. And they make their chips fresh and to die for. So sometimes when I need that crunchy, chippy situation happening, I will do that, because at least I'm getting a little bit of salt, a little bit of chips, and that crunch. And then also I'm getting a lot of meat, because they just pile it on there. Like, I think there's more meat on those nachos than there are in his carne asada burrito. And in fact, we realized, depending on how hungry we are, well, actually, I think the best thing to do is just for us, if we're going to do the nachos, we split it, because I'm not going to eat it all. And nachos are not good the next day. Even these, it's just not the same. So he will usually eat his carne asada burrito, and then he'll eat some of my nachos. And then the next day he's like, I ate too much. So I told him, next time, let's just split the nachos, because that's just too much. So anyways, but yeah, like, I'll even like lick the salt off of chips, and I forgot what they're called, but they're like kettle chips. I think that's their name, kettle chips, because they have just a nice sea salt on them. But I am excited because I finally found on Amazon Celtic salt. And from eating carnivore and following carnivore eating, I should say, they recommend Celtic salt because the salt is really good. That one or Redmond's. Okay, so I didn't realize that your seasonings can be contaminated, but nonetheless, I went ahead and got Celtic salt, which should be arriving via Amazon soon. And I'm excited to have that, because maybe just a little change of the salt itself will satisfy that, and I don't need to eat some chips. Also, I can't overeat salt either because of the dialysis. So there's a very thin line that you have to walk, because salt will help you retain, which makes me think if I'm feeling like I need to eat salt, I probably am just dehydrated. So there's that. So anyways, that was my adventure. That's the naughty things I did the other day at the store. And I did get some sushi, which was delicious, by the way. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Drink your water. Okay, bye-bye. Good morning. Behind my curtain in my little nook, I just got my dialysis supply order. And if you look at them, they look a little bit different than what I've had in the past. That's what I normally get, and this is what is come to me. Now, from what I can tell on this box, it says Thailand. So these must be coming from the Baxter Manufacturing Company in Thailand. Interesting. But why I have these boxes, that's a whole nother story.